is the Glass Cannon Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this latest episode of Friends of the Pod, where we explore new and exciting game systems from all corners of the game universe. I'm Skid Maher. Let me quickly introduce my cohorts here. We have down there, we got Joe O'Brien.
Hi, everybody.
He's the COO of the Glass Cannon Network. He's playing, you might know him as Brother Ramius in the Gatewalkers campaign that we're playing. And if you look at him, you can see that he's mentally preparing to grease a bunch of poles in downtown Philly in anticipation of the Phillies winning the World Series. How you doing, Joe?
Don't jinx me. Don't jinx me. This is
Not even God himself could beat the Phillies in the playoffs.
We'll see. No, I'm very excited. Thanks for asking me to be on it. Of course, an honor to be on this game with this cast. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. We also have the CEO of the Glass Cannon Network. Looks like he's in quite a bit of pain. And he loves making our lives miserable as a GM. So I'm always happy to turn the tables on him. Troy Lavallee.
I appreciate it.
How you doing, Troy?
I haven't looked in the mirror lately. I am swollen all over. So halfway through, I might take this ice in my pants and put it on my fat face.
Wow, Jesus,
to reduce the face swelling.
Just really swollen.
Troy's still recovering from surgery. We all admire his dedication. Still doing these things. We also, of course, have Sydney Amanuel. She is the jack of all trades of the network. You might know her as Lucky, the catfolk fighter in the Gatewalkers campaign, and definitely in the running for least physically decrepit member of the network. How you doing, Sid?
It's because I drink my milk. I'm always telling you, boys.
That's
drink
right.
Your milk.
That's Assassin's, not Assassin's Creed. That's the game. Alchemist, Alchemy Brotherhood.
Full Metal
Alchemist.
That's one of the big lessons of Full Metal Alchemist is drink your milk.
Drink your milk. And
Exactly.
I told Troy that, and he doesn't listen. And that's why he's hurt.
That's why he's suffering.
She also practices forbidden alchemy.
Yeah, that's another part of it. It keeps me young.
And last but certainly not least, my first time working with this fellow. First time meeting him. Very excited. You might know him as the Severosi Cutter Valkos in the Haunted City on the Glass Cannon Network.
Oh, I love that guy.
You might recognize him looking way better than any of us would in silver spandex on Raised by Wolves on HBO Max. And a minor footnote, I believe you'll be seeing him in the next season of House of the Dragon, also on HBO.
Yeah.
Minor footnote.
Yeah.
Abu Salim.
Hey. Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's so funny. When I got the email to join this Assassin's Creed sort of roleplay, first of all, I was like, oh my God, these guys are really branching out to doing everything. And I was like, but then secondly, I was like, I wonder if Bayek is in here. And lo and behold, I can't see the guy. So this is me saying goodbye to everyone here now. Thank you very much for having me on board. And I'll see you guys later.
It's good to see you.
Lovely to see you guys.
We will miss him. A huge missed opportunity. I was also, like, you may know him as the voice of the protagonist Bayek in Assassin's Creed Origins. A really good game, by the way.
It was one of those games which I was terrified, by the way, because it was like right at the time when everyone thought Assassin's Creed was going to die. And it was like that game was like that moment. I mean, the film came out and let's be honest, the film did its thing. And essentially the next thing was the game. And I remember thinking to myself, great, I'm going to be the guy who kills the franchise.
Will forever go down as the guy that killed the franchise.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You really were like an emergency paramedic for Assassin's Creed. You're either going to kill it or bring it back to life.
Exactly.
And it really did. It brought the whole franchise back. It turned the whole thing around. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
So speaking of video games, this is the first time I think we've played a tabletop RPG based on a video game. I want to know, what is some of your favorite video games that you've ever played? Let's start with Troy.
Oh man. Well, when I go back to like early days, my favorite was Goonies 2 and Maniac Mansion. Remember Maniac Mansion? It was like revolutionary. Like you could just wander around.
Was that a LucasArts game?
It might have been LucasArts now that you mentioned it. I think I remember, but it was like you just wander around as like a kid. You were 3 different kids, and then you could just be somewhere in the house and then switch to the other kid wherever he was. But you could do things that were like, you're basically walking around a haunted house, but there were people there who were cool, but then if you did something you weren't supposed to, you get thrown in jail. And like if you didn't know the one brick in the jail that had the key to get out, you'd have to restart the game. It was a crazy game. And then Goonies 2 was based on the movie. It had like the 8-bit version of the Cyndi Lauper songs from Goonies, and it was a wonderful sort of RPG where there was some, you had like a yo-yo as an attack weapon. And then you would go into these dungeons that you could punch a wall or lift a drawer or open to this and open to that. And it was very freeform. It was one of my first like experiences with true RPGs. So going back to the original stuff, those are the ones I remember the most.
Awesome. Very, very good answers. What about Joe?
Well, in modern times, for me, it's all Dark Souls. I am obsessed with the entire series. I love those games, and I think that they've really. I'm currently playing Lies of P, and that's just an example of how it's evolving into becoming. It's created an entire genre of gaming, so that's really, really cool. But then when I think back to like, I don't know, late 90s PlayStation era, my favorite game is Final Fantasy Tactics. I loved that game so much. Not only because the story was amazing.
We've talked about this before. That was a great game.
Great game. And the story was incredible, and so many twists and turns, and the dramatic Shakespearean nature of the story was fantastic. But then also, it was one of the first tactical role-playing games I'd ever played on a computer, obviously, or PlayStation or whatever, and just finding out builds and ways to match and synergize a party to defeat monsters. It was really an awesome game.
Good answer. Yeah, I love that game. Very good answer. Sydney, what about you?
Well, now Troy got me thinking. I feel like my early video game years was Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Loved Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I used to scare myself playing that game in my parents' bedroom on the one original PlayStation we had.
They kept the PlayStation in their bedroom?
Yeah, my dad played video games, and he was like, that's mine. And he was like, if you want to play, you have to ask to go into the bedroom and play the PlayStation. And it made sense, because I don't think we had like a family TV. It was early. We had maybe like a tiny little TV. You wouldn't play video games on it. But then I got my own PlayStation later when I was older, and I fell in love with the Kingdom Hearts series of video games. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was like my middle school, high school. And I thought the third one that came out, not even that long ago, everyone waited years and years and years, still a great game. I still have an affinity for it. But now I've branched off so much. There's so many different series that I've enjoyed, like Red Dead, Assassin's Creed, like so many different big games. I love big open world games. So yeah, I love dipping my toes in anything now. I'll try anything twice.
Awesome. Yeah. I love watching your streams as well. I always try to tune in when you stream on Twitch because it's always fun.
Thanks.
Abu, what about you? Very curious about this.
Before I do, are you supposed to be playing? Is that Inglourious Bastards in the background?
Oh, sorry. It's still going. I'm sorry about that.
It's getting us in the mood.
This was a mood setter. I meant to.
Is that Inglourious Bastards?
I didn't know what it was. I was like, what is happening? Okay.
You're giving some clues as to what's coming, Skid.
It is. Yes. Okay. All right. I ruined everything.
No. My favorite game. Oh man, that's hard. So because I play.
I know you're a big gamer.
Like huge, man. Like to on another level. I'd say like even today I was actually at home with my mum, and I was upstairs in the loft going through all this, all our kind of old stuff, and I'm surrounded by like game stations. And I'd say there was a game that I pulled out, like a little cartridge, Golden Sun. That game
Golden
made
Sun.
such an impact on me. It was on the Game Boy Advance. And it was one of those. It was a bit like, it's essentially an RPG, right? An old RPG kind of game. And I remember at the time, it was the music that kept playing that was really kind of sort of transported me back. And it was one of those games where it really inspired me into storytelling and into the idea of telling stories as a group of travelers going on their adventures and whatnot. And that really had an impact on me. As I said, like I've played all sorts from, Ocarina of Time to freaking, the original Castlevania on the Game Boy. Like that music was sick. Like, but there was something about, I think today, and just seeing Golden Sun, the cartridge, and being like, okay, this has got like the feels. It was the first like kind of game that took me, I think, quite a long time to beat. Most other games were quite short, whereas this was like, okay, this is epic, and it was really, really hard. But
it required a commitment. Yeah.
I was so tempted to say Assassin's Creed, but then I thought, no, Ubisoft didn't pay me enough. But it's
that's my job. I'll say it. You could. Well, that's great. I think actually for my favorite, one of the game I was thinking of today as I thought of this question was Ultima 1, which is one of the first sort of CRPGs. And the memory that sticks out for me most was it was my first encounter with what they call the naked dwarf syndrome or naked dwarf problem. Have any of you guys heard of this?
No.
This is a mechanical issue that arises in a lot of fantasy RPGs where a dwarf or like a similarly kind of constitution-based tough kind of class or character will become harder to hit naturally without any armor on. This is something that it happened a lot in like Warhammer and stuff. And I had a dwarf in Ultima 1, and it got to the point where, when you go to these towns, like in the beginning of the game, they have these guards like guarding the stores and everything, and they will just knock you down in one blow. And I would level up to the point where I would stand outside the town, strip completely naked with nothing in my hands, walk into the town and kill everyone with my bare hands.
Oh my God.
And it was one of the most satisfying experiences like I've still ever had. It was really fun. But I would be neglecting my professional duties if I didn't also mention Assassin's Creed. I do love Assassin's Creed. I was so psyched, especially when that first trailer dropped in like 2007 or 2008.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that trailer?
I remember. I just remember the feeling of being like, again, it was that switch bait kind of thing, right? You think it's one thing, and then suddenly it's like, I mean, that was again when opening the game for the first time. But yeah, that trailer, I remember seeing the trailer and being like, this is, you feel like the games have leveled up now. Like they've become cinematic.
It felt like an evolution in gaming. It was one of those games that came out because you saw like the character kind of like sort of elbowing his way through the crowd. And it was just
I remember that too.
Like sweet music as well. It was like,
and there's like a guillotine, right? Like you're at an execution and you're,
yes. It was so good. So good.
It was really cool. And then they had that little sort of static at the end. And it was just like, what does this mean? Like when that first teaser trailer dropped, like knowing this is like, what does that mean? Then coming to learn like what it does actually mean, that part of it takes place in the present. So that's the game we're playing today. So we're playing the new Assassin's Creed TTRPG by CMON. Not CMON. CMON. CMON Games.
CMON and Ubisoft.
CMON, Ubisoft, Guillotine Press. I've been working with the devs by email and Skype over in Italy, and they've been amazing. Really excited. There's some cool mechanics here. So basically, anyone who's not familiar with the world of Assassin's Creed, it takes place in two phases, just like the video game. You have your modern day counterparts, the descendants. In 2016, they are descendants of people who were in the Assassin's Brotherhood. They are using the Animus device, which was stolen from Abstergo Industries, their enemies, to go back into their DNA and awaken these genetic memories of events that can lead people in modern times to find these artifacts, the pieces of Eden left behind by this pre-human advanced civilization on Earth. Does that cover everything.
It's awesome. And can I just say that my first experience playing Assassin's Creed, when I first turned on, I thought I had no idea about the modern aspect at all. I thought that I was getting a game that was, just this assassin game in that time. And when it starts in the modern day, I was like, what is going on here? And
this is the wrong game.
I remember just being blown away by that concept of the Animus, and that like it's unlocking within your DNA memories of like your own ancestors that are absolute badasses. And I was just like, It's just one of those things, like it's like the Matrix in a way, where you kind of like, even as a geeky game player, you start to be like, maybe there's shit in my DNA from the past that's way cooler than I am. And, like similar to like the Matrix, would be like, oh man, I could just jump over a building if it really is a simulation. Like it just changed the way that I thought about DNA. And it's not too often a video game changes my fundamental understanding of how science could work. It's pretty awesome.
It is such a cool concept. I love the concept so much. And it's cool actually having it as a TTRPG rather than like a video game. It just opens up so many more possibilities of what you can do with that concept, which is really exciting for me. So we're going to start off, we're going to make your characters in the modern day in 2016, the Descendants. So the way this works is it's pretty free form. This is sort of a narrative-based game. So you can be basically anybody. You can be anybody you can think of, and you're going to have 4 ability ratings. It's going to be your action rating, your stealth rating, your wits rating, and your social rating. So for these characters, you will start with a difficulty value of 3. That's your starting value. And you can lower is better. You can lower 2 of your ratings by 1 or 1 of your ratings by 2. When you roll the dice, you're going to roll six six-sided dice, and you want to get a number of matches on the dice equal to whatever score you're using. This is probably very confusing. So
I think you're doing great, Skid.
Okay, thank you. I'm very nervous. All right. So let's just start making these characters. So do any of you?
I picked mine.
You do? Okay. Yeah. Let's start with Troy. So who is this character?
You can raise 2 by 1 or
lower.
1 by 2, right? Yeah.
Lower.
So I'm going to do 3 action, 3 stealth, 3 wits, 1 social.
Oh.
Okay. Super socially adept person.
A face.
Okay.
The party face.
Party face.
Yeah. Well, 1 is worse, right?
No, one is the best.
Better.
1 is the best.
Oh, then I'm
lower
not
is better.
doing that.
Okay. Oh man, I thought we had a face.
No. I don't want to do that at all. I was like, well, I want to have really poor social skills. Okay, so
So you're gonna dump social.
Dig deep.
Yeah, I'll probably do 3 social, 3 wits, 2 stealth, 2 action.
Okay, great.
Cool.
And then who are they? What is their name? What's their deal?
So when you say their deal, like they're just living in 2016.
Yeah, just a person in
anywhere in the
2016.
world?
Anywhere in the world.
Maybe I'll be from Boston.
Okay.
Of course.
A guy from Boston with poor social skills. I don't know if you can pull this off, Troy.
Maybe I'm like a guy that sells hot dogs at Fenway Park or something. Like a concession guy at Fenway Park.
Oh my God. Okay. How old?
Okay.
How old?
33
64 years old.
64 years old.
Just
he'd be the
retired
guy that like
from
cleans
his
the
job as an
seats.
accountant.
They
and
still have like the
fulfilling
old
his dream of
timers.
working at Fenway.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious if it's one of these old timers that like retired that like cleans off the seats for you. They still
He
have
loves
those
it.
guys.
Yeah.
An usher at Fenway.
No, I'll be like a 33-year-old hot dog vendor at Fenway Park. Works for Aramark Concessions.
Okay.
His name is Rebus McIntyre.
Rebus McIntyre.
Rebus
Okay.
McIntyre.
Wow.
All right, great. Awesome. Okay, so that's the basics. So let's move on to the next candidate here. What about Joe? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I do. So didn't you send an email that said that we were supposed to be in like London in 2016?
You end up in London. You can't be from there, but you can be from anywhere.
I'm going to win a contest. How else am I going to get to London?
Exactly. How the hell are you going to get to London? You bum.
I like literally like McDonald's fry prize or something. Like it's the only way this guy's getting to London.
Yeah, well, you got
sort of,
Boardwalk and Park Place.
Yeah, the Monopoly. You got the Monopoly McDonald's.
A trip to London.
A free trip to
I mean,
London.
you are summoned by the Assassin's Creed organization, the Assassin's Brotherhood, because of your ancestry. But yeah, however that manifests.
Are they paying for travel?
They're paying for everything.
First class?
All expenses.
First class all the way. Business
Oh,
class.
shit. All right.
Yeah.
Brotherhood's got money.
Does this change where you're from now, Joe? Were you going to be from somewhere else?
I was going to be from London because I thought that that's what we were supposed to do.
Do it.
You
Do
can
it.
be
All
from
right, well,
London.
then I'm going to do it even though it's ridiculous. So I told I have to go through with it now because I told my wife before I got on, I was like, what I do is so ridiculous because what I have to do now is go into this room and I have to make up a guy from London in a game with Abu Salim and then speak to him in a British accent and just be
this is the
horribly
exciting
embarrassed
I've
the
thought
entire
about this.
time.
I was going to email Abu. I was going to email you separately and say sorry ahead of time. Because
Yeah, I would like to consider that. I would like you to consider this my apology for the remainder of this game.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do it once and just know that that's for
blanket
every
apology.
sentence I say.
Can you give us a taste?
Great.
Can you just give us a little?
No, I had an idea. Well, we'll see. I'll have to build. We'll have to work myself up to it, Sydney. Give me a second. So I had this idea of a guy, 29 years old. Mm-hmm. It's so funny that Troy was going to be slinging hot dogs because my idea was I wanted to make a cook, like a 29-year-old cook at a like intense restaurant situation in London that is not like not fancy, but he takes his job very seriously. So it's kind of like a tavern-esque restaurant, but he is a super intense saute cook kind of guy. He doesn't own the restaurant. He doesn't have any, he's just a low level chef in the grand scheme. But but just like a super intense guy who, late 20s and working as a cook in London.
Okay, great. What's his name?
And I'm gonna do. His name is Tommy Flanagan.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do 3 stealth, 3 social because he's a cook, like an angry cook. Okay. And then 2 action, 2 wits.
Okay.
But he's pretty sharp. He's pretty sharp.
Yeah, a little smarter than. Okay. All right, good. Sydney, what about you?
Okay. Her name is Lydia Wallace. She's 25, also lives in London. She's currently in grad school at the Queen Mary University to be a doctor. And she also has 2 wit, 2 action, same as Joe's character. She's very smart, but she's also very, what's the word? Like no patience. Like she just wants to get it done. She thinks that she's the best at it. She wants to do everything herself. She's a bit self-centered. And I think she comes from money, whatever her ancestors are, her lineage. I think she's kind of well-to-do and lives off of mommy and daddy's money. What's a good area of London? Kensington?
Yeah, I'd say or Richmond.
Richmond? Where's the rich college kids?
Oh, man.
Everywhere? They're fucking ruining this city.
Yeah, literally just destroying everything. No, Kensington's good. Do Kensington.
Yeah, she's in Kensington in like a very beautiful flat. Like it's way too beautiful and big. It's just her. And that's where she's at.
Okay, great. Yeah, because later on, as we move on, we're going to do traits. Everyone's going to have 2 traits. Mm-hmm. So like rich could be a trait if you wanted. You could use that. Okay, great. Abu, what about you?
My guy is an ex-politician, was a lawyer, and now is an estate agent. In a very interesting journey. He is from London himself. His name is Sol Malloy. And he is, again, very sort of... So I'm leading by the points that I've put into the approach difficulties here. So I've got like 1 in social, so he is the face.
Okay.
2 in wits, 3 in stealth, and 3 in action. He's not really a fighter. So yeah, that's essentially that's how he rolls around. Essentially, he's more of he's a very good talker, but he can also. I mean, there's a reason why he's an ex-politician. He's probably also too much of a good talker.
Right. Is he disgraced? Was there some scandal?
Absolutely, totally disgraced. And he wanted to seek his own justice, so he became a lawyer, failed that, and now he works as an estate agent, doing very well.
Awesome. Okay. This is great. Good start. Okay, so now let's move on to why don't we do traits now? So traits, you pick 2 of these 2 traits that would describe your character, like 2 things that they're good at, 2 things about them that might be beneficial in a given circumstance. So Troy, what are 2 traits that Rebus might have?
I think he is loud. That's what an assassin should be, right?
Yeah, that's the very key ability for an assassin.
That's a bad assassin trait. No, like what was something that actually would translate over to this? It could be anything, right? I just got to think of adjectives.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah.
Oh God. He is
commanding.
Yeah, commanding. I like that. Commanding. Yeah, commanding presence. Commanding is good. Yeah. And I'm just trying to think of what a hot dog. He's very charming.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to go social, but it's just I think he's a charming guy. He's commanding and charming.
Okay, commanding and charming. Awesome. Well done, Troy. What about Tommy Flanagan? What are his 2 traits?
I'm not sure yet. One of them is going to be loyal. He's going to be loyal almost to a fault. And then that could we also have to choose a hindrance. That could be a hindrance too. Yeah, I have another idea for a trait that could be positive, but it could be a negative, and I think that I'm going to make that his hindrance. In fact, I'm going to skip ahead to hindrance if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think it's an important character trait that I have in my imagination of this guy as a cook / chef in a tavern where no one really cares how good he does. He's obsessive about being excellent at his job. So I'm going to just say as a hindrance, he is a perfectionist. And it's kind of like to a fault. Like sometimes he can't see the forest for the trees because he's so focused on the details that he wants to make sure every job is done perfectly. But that can also, be a hindrance. So he's a perfectionist.
Awesome.
And then come back to me for the other signature trait. I'm going to keep thinking about it.
Okay. Sid, what about Lydia? What's her traits?
Joe and my character are very similar. I actually put down perfectionist too as a hindrance, but I'm going to change it.
Oh, okay.
But I think they're in the same vein. They take themselves like extremely
with wildly different social standing and lives like that. That's
totally.
Pretty cool.
She puts a lot of pressure on herself, but I think for the traits, it makes sense to do wealthy. You said rich. Yeah. I mean, she is. Why not? If that'll help me in a situation. So I put wealthy and I put medical genius. She really is smart, even though she's kind of this snobby person. She is very good. And then her hindrance, though, is selfish. She's extremely selfish.
Awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Very good. Awesome. That's a good array there. What about Saul?
So I've put down socially perceptive as one of my traits.
Very good.
I don't know whether you can agree with this. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But being a politician, unmoral.
Okay.
Basically, I've like, the kind of guy who doesn't necessarily like. I think maybe unmoral is a strong word. What I'm trying to say is essentially he doesn't see bad or good, right? He just sees the middle line, and I think that's essentially, I think that's quite a trait in today's society. where it's that kind of balanced. Maybe should I say balanced? Should I say
non-judgmental?
Non-judgmental. There we go.
Positive spin on having no morals.
Exactly. That's exactly
okay.
That's exactly it.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, this is your challenge to get this to apply in the game.
Oh Jesus.
Oh
God. Okay.
Yeah, but that works.
I should have just said nice.
Nice works too. Although that could also be a hindrance.
Very true.
What is your hindrance?
My hindrance is that I'm proud.
Proud. Okay, that's good. Great.
Nice.
What about Rebus? What is his hindrance?
Just starting to think about that. If he's commanding and charming, his hindrance is he. God, yours are way better than mine. If he's commanding and charming, he's just like everything I think of makes him a bad assassin. I was like, he has a club foot.
That's the thing, though. For your descendants,
right?
Yeah, the descendants they're not assassins. They're not supposed to be.
They're just his hindrance is he is colorblind. No,
that could totally be
or
one.
illiterate.
Well, he is from Boston.
I just got the newest mission. Here, you read it.
Yeah. What's this thing I got in the mail?
I just have to sign my name at the bottom. Could you help me?
I'd love to help, but I'm club-footed, colorblind, and illiterate. But I'm quite charming.
All this could apply if you choose.
Maybe he's a kind of like this oafish, like he's a bull in a china shop a little bit. He's a little oafish.
Oafish. Okay.
Oafish. That's quite good.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. All right, great. That's awesome.
I feel like we're at a job interview where they're like, "What's your biggest weakness?"
Yeah.
Well,
I'm a perfectionist. See, two of you said perfectionist.
I know. Perfectionist is kind of like
I changed mine because that's
like,
lame.
Yeah, it feels like a cheat. It doesn't really feel
Workaholic.
You gotta,
I'm a
exactly. Workaholic.
I care too much.
This is definitely a cheat. I have my other trait,
Okay.
which I just think is very funny. Strong.
Oh,
He's just
that's
strong.
great. Yeah.
Like
Awesome
he is.
trait.
He regularly, routinely goes to the gym, works out like before his shifts, and stays in really intense shape. So even just looking at him, it's the kind of guy who looks like he could mess you up if you got in a fight, and you just kind of like keep your distance.
Yeah, great. Really basic, strong, good traits.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay, so now we have to choose our gear, including 2 pieces of signature gear. This is stuff that is important to you, that you feel like you would have on you a lot, something that would be meaningful. It doesn't have to be a weapon or anything. It could be just like a tchotchke or whatever. But it's 2 pieces of just 2 objects that you would feel would be important to your character. Troy, do you have any answers for this?
He has a 1941 play ball rookie card of Ted Williams.
Okay, good.
Jesus, he just walks around with that.
Be careful with that.
Yeah,
it's
serious. That should be in a safe.
It's in a screw case. I don't know why he carries this everywhere, but it was like given to him. It's like from his great grandfather. It was handed down to his grandfather, to his father, and then to him. And it's kind of like his lucky charm.
Okay.
And it's like the most expensive Ted Williams card one could own. It's so stupid for him to be carrying this. But that and let me think of another one so I don't just make up something stupid.
Joe, do you have any signature gears?
Yeah, he's gonna have a Glock G19 9mm pistol. That
way better than a rookie card.
Exactly. No, So there's 2 pieces of signature gear.
Yeah.
And then you can still have more gear besides that.
And then you could have like anything else you feel like you could reasonably have. There's like 3 spaces for other gear, which like the Glock could be in there. If the Glock has sentimental value to you, or if it's just like it's really key to like how you do business, that could be your signature gear, or it can just be a regular piece of gear.
Yeah, well, maybe it's just regular gear then and not signature gear because it is just a gun. He's got a Glock G19 and a Beretta A400 XL because that's a shotgun because he's a shooting enthusiast. And he will routinely not after shifts when he's working late, but when he's off, he goes to ranges and stuff. He loves shooting and clay shooting and all that kind of stuff. And really, it's just to get out his anger. I will say one signature item that he has, he's going to be a Tottenham supporter. So he's going to have a Tottenham beanie that he wears. He's seen in all the time.
Okay. Come on, you Spurs. Very well.
Come on, you Spurs.
Way to win the GM's favor here.
Little by little.
Okay, great. Okay.
And I'll keep thinking of something else that might have sentimental value. That definitely has sentimental value. He's had it for years. It's kind of like torn up and faded. And he wears it like, not when he's working, obviously, but like in and out every shift. You just see him. He comes in with it on and he leaves with it on every shift.
Awesome. Okay. What about Lydia?
Lydia has, she always wears, she changes her jewelry, but she commonly wears a diamond necklace that's worth over $5,000. She has a medical kit that looks like it's her kit for school. It has the Queen Mary College logo on it, but inside she has amphetamines and ketamine. Because how else is she going to get all her studying done and party on the weekends? And then she has pepper spray and an illegal butterfly knife that she just casually has on her person. But her two special signature items are the diamond necklace from her great grandmother and the medical kit with her drugs. Great. Awesome. Very good. What about Saul?
I have a lighter, an engraved lighter that was given to me by a very dear friend of mine who has departed and left him, and keys to an unregistered house, which is really, really bougie and lovely, hidden somewhere in Richmond.
Ooh.
What? Oh, okay.
It's way cooler than my beanie.
Listen, man.
Why did I say?
Wait a minute.
Saying,
Can I have a house
say
too?
a hat?
Wait. I also have a house.
Yeah. Also, I think that maybe we should point out here that this, in the character creation section of the rule book, it's very clear in these parts. There's no lists of these things. We're not picking a list of traits or gear. It says to all of it, it's like whatever you want, whatever you think within reason your character has or keeps, just put them on this list.
It's great.
It's very cool. It gives you this total freedom to role play and create someone using your own rules. So for example, Saul can just have a house. You know how long I've been working to afford an apartment in London?
I have 7. You can have one of mine. I don't use them.
Wow.
Oh my God. Stop it.
Yeah, she's rich, so just ask her.
I'm rich.
Means nothing to me. This is my fantasy, okay?
My guy over here with the baseball cards,
This guy's on the hot dog and a baseball card.
The team's really coming together. You can really feel this happening. Troy, do you have a second signature item?
Yes.
It's a hot dog.
He has the
Hot dog.
the deed to a Dunkin' Donuts on Route 1 in Saugus.
All right, I think I know that one. Okay.
I think I know that one.
Deed to a
I'm learning
Dunkies.
really quickly, this is a group to stress test any game.
We really push it to the limit.
It's Dad, please go ahead. Not really thinking they're going to choose a blade or a gun. No, you've got fucking deed to Dunkin' Donuts.
If you can own a house, I can own a Dunkies.
Hey, man.
If you can have a house in Richmond, I can have a Dunkies in Saugus.
Yeah, this is the game that kills Assassin's Creed, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah.
This is kill it in the crib.
We'll finish the job Abu started in 2017.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, this is all wonderful.
So you know what? What I'll do is I think that this guy is going to he'll love his car, and he almost kind of lives out of his car. So I'm not familiar British automobiles, but I would say a hatchback-ish kind of beat up old car that he keeps like so much shit in, and just throws a blanket over it in the back, and the guns are probably in there too. And yeah, so he's just living the opposite life of Sydney's character. But I got to figure out a make and model. I'll get.
You should,
do you
you should have the
make and
car
model?
that Magoohan drives in The Prisoner.
Maybe something sturdy and maybe like a, I don't know. I was going to say Volkswagen.
I was thinking of Volkswagen too.
Yeah, VW.
That
works.
VW. Yeah.
All right, so he's got his Volkswagen.
Okay. Is that signature gear or just like gear?
That's signature gear. Gear. And then I added one piece. So I had the guns, and then I added another piece to regular gear, which is a vape pen. He's kind of like obsessively hitting a vape pen.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Did we do hindrance for everybody?
Yes.
Can't remember.
I think, Troy, you didn't say yours.
I'm
did you?
oafish. Yeah, I'm oafish.
You muted.
Ah, you dummy.
I said I'm oafish. I was wondering
that's
why,
right.
Oafish.
Right.
I was wondering why nobody responded when I said you should drive Peter Magoohan's car from The Prisoner. Not Peter Magoohan.
Oh yeah, a Lotus Super 7.
Yeah.
That would be a very cool
I
car.
gotta look up what that looks like.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my
too. I
god, it's
don't know
the
what that is.
coolest car. It's a kit car. It's the coolest car that
it's
ever
a tiny little
existed.
Oh, that.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh my god! It doesn't have a roof.
It's my dream car. I've wanted one of these cars my entire life.
Now that is a signature item.
Wait,
That
but
would
could
be
you
a signature
imagine?
item.
Joe's like, "Yeah, I live out of my car. That's the car. There's no roof. He just
Right, exactly.
sits in it."
Doesn't have anything in there.
Okay, so now I think like the last like main thing we have to pick is a quote. So this is just a quote that embodies your sort of worldview, your creed, as it were. So yeah, again, this can be anything. Does anyone have an idea for a quote about their character?
I got it.
Okay.
I'm not just selling concessions. I'm selling happiness.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right. Very good.
So he's a marketing expert.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that could come into play. What about Joe? Joe, do you have a...
Yeah, his quote, going off of the perfectionist hindrance, his quote is going to be, "Not garnished, not done."
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So
very good.
every detail needs
That's
to be
McDonald's quote. That's what it says for all the workers.
What about Sid?
I think Lydia really is trying to present herself in a more worldly manner, becoming a doctor. And she's starting to realize as she's getting older, like, yes, okay, I am wealthy. I come from privilege. But she doesn't quite understand it. So this is her quote: "Try and do good. And if you can't do good, at least do something." And she thinks it is so profound. She thinks she's really done something with that.
By just having that quote?
What?
By just having that quote?
Yes,
That's
yes. She's like,
all right.
and done. World hunger solved.
You did it.
I
Just
did it.
do something.
Just do
Just
something.
do something. Great. Come up with a quote. Good. You did it. What about Saul?
I don't make the rules.
Oh.
Okay. Wow.
That's
That's
it.
a good quote.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I feel like I'm being grounded.
Okay, so now you guys, for whatever languages you think you might speak, we can, and again, as long as it's reasonable, like any number of languages, any languages that you think you would know.
English.
Just English?
Yeah, end of list.
Okay.
I don't really see this guy having that kind of education. Though he's not dumb. He's got two wits. He's intelligent, but he just has sort of like a regular education. You know,
Right, just
he
a
doesn't
broad
have higher
kind of
education.
education. Troy?
Yeah, just English.
Just English? What about Sydney?
English, French, and Latin.
Yes, makes sense. What
Mm-hmm.
about Saul?
English.
English. Okay, so that's your descendant characters pretty much done. So now we have to do your ancestor characters. So this is taken kind of a while. So how do you want to do this? We have pre-gens we can use. Or we can make up your own characters. It's really up to you guys. But they are, and just to spoil kind of where the adventure is going, these are people that would be either in the Assassin's Brotherhood or associated with the Assassin's Brotherhood that could have been in Paris in 1943.
Oh, so we'd use the World War II witnesses?
Yes. Yeah. If you want to pick one of there's some pre-gens that they provided us with, or you can make up your own. So what if you guys want to pick, and does anyone really feel strongly about making one? What do you guys think?
I've made one.
You made one.
You made one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to hear who they are?
Yeah. Who are they?
Okay. Her name is Jacqueline Babenu. She is Babenu. I looked up French names. That's French. For all you French speakers out there, I'm sure I'm nailing it.
Nailed it.
Her description is a waifish woman who strong-armed her way into the medical world. And she wears a wig because in my imagination, she was in love with a German soldier and was caught basically housing him or being in contact with him, something that went on. So they shaved her head publicly to shame her. And she wears a wig now to like hide her shame. And I don't know where the story's going, but maybe that's how she got involved, or, you know, there's some connection. She somehow got involved with the war or with something in Paris. And that's why she's there.
Great. That's awesome. Okay. So do you want to be the ancestor then? Like there's one of you is going to be the ancestor whose memories this is all sort of revolving around. Since you're the first person to answer this question, maybe Sid should just be the ancestor. I
mean, unless if anybody else had an idea, I'll roll with whatever. I just thought this was fun.
Which would mean that you are in that this character would be in the Assassin's Brotherhood.
Which would be dope.
Yeah.
Do it.
The rest of them can too.
Do it, yeah.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay,
right,
so
the rest of them can't be in the Assassin's Brotherhood?
They can be, but they don't have to be.
Oh.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so Jacqueline Babenu. So what is she good at? What's she best at?
So she has a 2 in wits and a 2 in social. So
okay.
And I put her traits as clever and hard ass. So she's really good at talking to people. She's very sharp. She carries chloroform, a pistol, and a knife.
Awesome. Okay. What's her signature items?
I think the pistol and the chloroform.
Okay. Awesome. Great.
Doesn't she get better stats?
Oh.
Yeah. The ancestors get a little better stats than the descendants. So the ancestors get to lower 2 approaches by 2, or 1 approach by 2 and 2 by 1. Wait.
There's like 3 possible combinations. It's
yeah.
2-2-2-2, 3-3-1-1, or 3-2-2-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, 3-2-2-1. Oh, okay. So let me change. Oh, you know what? She'll have a 1 in action.
Okay.
So very action oriented. A 3 in stealth, not that stealthy, but she kind of doesn't need to be in my mind because she's got 2 in wits and 2 in social.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. Troy, what are you thinking for ancestor?
I'll make one up. His stats will all be 2 across the board, just for ease, and he'll be like a famous French mime.
Okay.
Named Claude Lemieux.
Can he be in the Brotherhood too, please?
He's like a mime by day, but that's his cover. He's secretly a resistance fighter / Brotherhood member.
My God.
For anyone who's not a huge hockey fan, Abu, I don't know if you are or not, but Claude Lemieux was the name of one of the most irritating, thuggish forwards in the history of the NHL. So
brilliant.
This is very fitting. Okay, great. Okay, Joe, what are you thinking?
I am thinking. I'm going to make one up, of course, obviously, and I'll just keep working on it. I'm not sure, but what I'm going to do is I think that we could use some stealth. So I'm going to, I'm going to make a, I know this is front door, but I'm just trying to keep it fast and easy. I'm going to make a French soldier. Actually, No. Yeah, I'll make a French soldier who is an ancestor of Tommy Flanagan, and he is going to be like a
special forces guy.
Yes, Like I was going to say, like a paratrooper kind of guy, like a kind of guy who's trained to go behind enemy lines and who has experience in the field in black ops, for lack of a better term, but stealth operations behind enemy lines. And I'll do a little research on that, or maybe I'll just make him British. Yeah, I'll just make him British Army. That'll make it easier. But he's going to be kind of a stealthy type, and I'll start putting together some traits and an identity.
All right. Well, maybe actually this character should be the ancestor, because it has to. This is sort of rare for something we haven't seen in the Assassin's Creed video games, because normally the ancestors are many generations back. Yeah, but this is pretty close. 2 generations back. Yeah. So this is someone you would know. This is someone that the descendant would know. So unless Lydia can trace a straight line to Jacqueline, can she do that?
I mean, it could be like her great grandmother, which is fine. But I also like the idea of a soldier might have like a better connection to the story. Like maybe Lydia is involved with the soldier and like they know each other, but maybe she's not the direct. Maybe like the soldier is the direct assassin.
Yeah, I'm just thinking just because there is that like direct connection. So all right. So that Joe, the Flanagans are the center of the thing.
They're the stars? Why? How does this possibly happen?
You're the star of the show.
This is ridiculous.
It really doesn't matter. It's really just for in our heads.
Well, I'm going to believe you on that.
And what about Abu? What are you thinking?
So I'm going to go for a pre-made character called Major Gallagher.
Why don't we make Major Gallagher the name? For God's sakes.
The thing
my guy's going to be a lower rank, so we really should defer to the Major.
Look, the thing that got me, right, I was looking through these characters and I was thinking, oh, these quotes are great. And then this quote just got me. I was like, I'm going to kill you with my teacup.
My teacup.
And it's not even it's with me. It's like, I'm going to kill you with me teacup.
Teacup.
That's my guy. You got Great. 1 action, 2 stealth, 3 wit, and 2 social. His traits are green beret and also vigor, but his hindrance is his honor code. Very interesting to my very proud and unmoralistic character. So yes, that is my major.
Okay. Well, do we want to make Major Gallagher the assassin then? Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's also a pre-gen, which I think is cool to show off too. Like he's a built character for the game that has and I mean just looking at his loadout and stuff, I'm like, this is really well thought out.
He's sort of the canonical sort of assassin for this adventure, I think. So I mean that would make sense.
Perfect. Great.
So do you think he's Saul's like great grandfather or uncle or something?
Yeah, I think he's definitely like Saul's like sort of great grandfather. I think he's definitely a close relation that Saul's sort of kind of proud of, but at the same time also just like whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Doesn't respect his family enough.
Okay. Perfect. So all of your characters, your descendants, your characters in 2016, you were all individually summoned to London in 2016. So how like you all like receive a letter like in the mail? You're all summoned here with travel arrangements, everything taken care of. Like how does this find each of you, do you think? What about Troy?
Yeah, he's sitting at home in, we'll say he lives in like Lynn, Mass.
It's just too funny.
He commutes into the city and he owns a Duncan. He basically he works really hard. He uses his money working all summer at Fenway to invest in a year-round business. That's how he owns the Duncans on Route 1. And so he's sitting there. And what time of year is it? Because it's really. I don't know if I can get
baseball?
the time.
Skid, you can't set it in baseball season.
I just don't know if I can get the time off from work.
You know what? It is actually. It's August 2016.
August 2016. I'd have to historically see how the Sox were doing. They might need me. But yeah, if he gets this ominous letter calling him out to there, I think he.
And they seem to know everything about you.
Wow. He packs up and heads to Logan. He's ready to go.
Okay.
He just feels like he's always wanted something a little bit more for himself, and that's why he bought the donkeys. And so I think this is an opportunity perhaps to take a step to the next level. He sees the fancy letterhead, all expenses paid, and I think there's a part of him, even as he's driving to Logan, that assumes this is just some joke, but he's single, he doesn't have any kids, and he's like, if it's a joke, then I'll just turn around. Their socks are in the middle of a road stand, so he had the time off anyways. He's going to Logan.
Okay, all right. So you fly this international flight, land at Heathrow, and get a cab. What about Tommy? What about Tommy Flanagan?
This is so funny. Like, how often do we make two characters during character creation?
I know, this is so
going
rare,
cross-eyed here, but this is really fun. Back to 2016 and Tommy Flanagan. Yeah. Okay. So he gets a letter that calls him into this thing, and I'll just say it's coincidental. Enough that he has a couple days off of work, because otherwise it'd be really, really hard for him to leave. He doesn't really have a replacement at the ready. But he had the time off, and so he's going to be able to go there and check out whatever this is. He's very suspicious of, once they know all of his information stuff, he thinks it's some kind of government thing, and he's not really. He doesn't think it's going to be on the up and up.
Okay. And you can, if you want, this can be not your first encounter with the Assassin's Brotherhood. You can be familiar with them already if you want. What about...
That would probably make it easier.
It would. What about Lydia?
Maybe Lydia is familiar. Maybe she, heard through her family. Her family, has been involved in, whether directly or like giving money to a lot of societal, galas, like the Knights Templar, the Brotherhood. So she
wow, playing both sides.
She knows. Well, I guess in this situation, maybe not both at the same time. Well, 10 years ago, it was the Knights Templar. Now they're back with the Brotherhood. It all has to do with taxes. But she's heard the names many times, like Freemason, literally like whatever, Illuminati. So she's just like, oh, great. Now it's my turn. They're approaching me. I'm like the next in line in my family. I'll go over and schmooze with them. I'll make good with them. She doesn't realize that she's being like called to action. She just thinks she has to like make a donation. So she has to, she has to cancel her dressage lessons. That's next week. She looks at her calendar. Well, I'm going to miss this class. She's like crossing things out and rescheduling. But she will go, and she will wear extremely expensive knee-high leather boots from Milan and a muumuu dress that was off the runway 2014 spring. Fall.
Okay.
What is it? Summer? She's wearing summer. It's summer 2014.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she's rich. What about Saul?
We get it.
We get it. Sid.
I think one. I don't know their name or who they are, but they keep coming to the estate agents. And first I thought they were swingers and trying to make a move on me to. Invite me over to some place, and because I'm home, right? Why you invite me to your home when I sell homes? I don't like anyway. And then
just because I sell homes doesn't mean I'm a swinger.
But then they started talking about my grandfather, and it was like they pulled this card out, and I'm like, okay, these guys know way too much about me, or they really want to swing with me. Either way, this is really interesting, so I follow.
Okay. So each of you, with your own modes of transportation, by sheer coincidence, pull up at exactly the same time to a rundown closed theater in the middle of Camden Town in North London. Abu, that's near you?
Yeah. It's It's north. Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So you know this place. So it's a rundown theater known as the Stardust. You walk through and you see that on the stage there are a bunch of spotlights set up over an array of these machines that look like you recline into them. And this place, the name on the invitation, that the person who sent for you, is Sigmund Ziggy Visser, owns the Stardust. So he sees you come in, and he waves, "Oh, please come up here. I'm so glad you've made it."
Tommy
Presumably-
Flanagan is so he's got his Tottenham beanie on, and you can see his head is shaved, like underneath. He's got a shaved head and this beanie on under it, bearded, and you said it's August, right? So he's wearing like a tank top, and he's got a full sleeve of tattoos on his right arm, and you can see some stuff under his chest too, underneath his shirt, but you can't quite make it out. And he's got a backpack like over his shoulder, and says, "What's this all about now?"
Well, and as he's like walking up to you, and he's like, he recognizes Jacqueline or Lydia and Saul, and you both know him, right? Or no, Lydia, maybe you don't know him.
Maybe I've seen him before. Sorry. Reminds me of your name. Sigger?
You can just call me Ziggy Visser. You can call me Ziggy if you like. Sigmund Ziggy Visser. I own the Stardust here in Camden Town in the UK. Please have a seat.
Up there?
Yes, up here on the stage.
Yeah, man, I don't know, bro. Like, I'm looking at that seat, right? And it doesn't look very inviting. You know what I mean? It's almost like you want me to lie down. Like, I didn't come here for therapy, you get me?
No, please. It's not therapy. We don't have very much time, literally. So he lays out the entire history of the Assassin's Brotherhood and the Templars and your place in it. And he just throws all this out to you. He shows you each like a bunch of documentation about each of your ancestors that were involved in the Assassin's Brotherhood, and he describes this race around the world: good versus evil, freedom versus totalitarianism, to locate these artifacts, these relics that will swing the balance of power in the world, decide the fate of the Earth. And how you all of your fates are intertwined with this, and how they need each of you to go back and to inhabit the memories of one of your ancestors or people like around them, to find clues as to the whereabouts in the modern day of these artifacts. So, what do you think after hearing all that?
So it's basically like Indiana Jones meets like Tomb Raider, innit? And then, but instead we're going into the past, so it's kind of a bit like The Matrix, isn't it? Like that kind of vibe.
Yes, exactly. It's like The Matrix meets Tomb Raider meets Indiana Jones. I've never heard it spelled out so succinctly, Saul.
Hey, you know what I mean. Like I'm clever, innit? All right, cool. Let me jump in, innit?
All right. So Saul lays down in the bed. The rest of you, how do you feel?
I
about
think
this?
Rebus clutches at the Ted Williams rookie card around his neck nervously, like
on a
Frodo
chain?
does the One Ring.
Okay.
He feels very out of place.
It's
here.
getting heavier.
It's getting heavier around his neck. He can feel it, and he's like, I kind of feel like brown shoes on a tuxedo with all these fancy accents and everything. I'm a pretty simple guy. You gotta understand, this sounds a little crazy to me. This is all for real? When I got the letter, it sounded like a fun little trip, and now we're going back in time to inhabit people's minds. What's the catch here?
No, this is all real as a donut, as you Americans like to say.
No one has ever said that. Where I'm from.
I think Tex Watson said it. All right, so
this all makes perfect sense to me. My parents have donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to your organization, and it's nice to see that money is being well spent. I would love to try out this chair.
Great. And yeah, he furthered it. So, and these chairs, like, they actually might be familiar to you as well, because in the world of Assassin's Creed, Abstergo Industries is sort of the modern incarnation of the Templars, and they're using it to sort of to drive world culture and stuff. And so these are sort of these VR consoles that they sell as sort of like the PlayStation 5s of the era, but they're actually using them to like dig through people's DNA as they use them. So the assassins stole this technology, the Animus technology, and they're using it themselves to brace the Templars to these things. So you might have seen at least something similar to these devices. You would be not completely surprised by it. So yes. So the key, we're looking for a key bit of information, and this is your ancestor, a Major Gallagher saw. So back in Paris, I believe he was in Paris in 1943, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, man, he was big. I mean, you know, me and my brother Philip, like, we always talk about him, you know. But I mean, yeah, I mean, that was quite weird when you brought him up. Actually, don't know how you know so much about him, but maybe it explains it with this whole, you know, Indiana Jones hoo-ha.
Yes, I mean, he was a hero, more than you probably even realized. Many of the things that he did aren't even in the public record, so you're about to find out a little bit more, perhaps. You're all going to need to go back to a night in 1943, and you're going to need to find some papers, and all will become clear once you sink. So do you all sink? Do you all lay in the chairs and sink?
Yeah, it takes 20 more minutes of convincing. But just one more question. Just one more.
Definitely. Yeah, I think if we had the time, Tommy would also be a little like he's looking at this file and he's just blown away. So this would be his grandfather that they give him this file for, and he opens it up and it says Robert Flanagan, who he knew as Granddad or Red. Everybody called him Red, and he doesn't.
Did you actually meet him? Did you ever meet him?
Yeah. Like he knew him, and he knew that he was a soldier, and he knew that he was in the Royal Marines, but he never heard anything about a Brotherhood, and didn't know anything about. But he died when my character was probably 12, like 11. So he didn't die that long ago, relatively speaking, and so in order for him to be his grandfather, what I'm thinking is my character. My ancestor is going to be really young, so he's going to be like 18 in 1943.
Awesome. He lied about his age to enlist.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's kind of a fun idea. Anyway, he takes some convincing. He doesn't really believe, but he's looking at the information, and I mean, that's his grandfather. That's the picture. That's whatever. So he's just like seeing his grandfather's memory or a memory of his grandfather that seems really cool. So yeah, he'll jump in.
Yeah, and they even, like, in the folder that he gives each of you, there are images of things that your ancestor saw that you couldn't possibly have been photographed. They're like images of things, like people that they knew and everything, that they've taken like directly from like snapshots of their things that they actually saw. So I feel like we should say really quick, for people that aren't familiar with Assassin's Creed or the setting, that the primary difference, like what this Brotherhood is versus the Templars, is the Templars are an agency that are worldwide trying to unify all of the world kind of governments and leadership into an organization of pure law and dominance over everyone. So that it's a strictly law-based society where all the rules are laid out and no one can ever kind of break the law kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And what the Brotherhood fights for is the basic freedom of choice. Exactly.
Those are sort of the basic tenets.
Yeah, that's the ethical kind of difference between the two sides. Okay, so do you guys go back?
Yeah, we slip in and go back.
Okay, you all are jacked into these machines, and as your eyes open, you see a fine drizzle that wets the road in front of the Folie Bergère. whose external lights create colorful projections on the sidewalk. If it weren't for the German uniforms crowding the area, everything tonight might look like it did in the pre-war days. From your hiding place, you can spot German trucks parked a short distance from the theater, and you've been observing cars carrying people in evening dresses coming and going for quite some time. Despite the rain and the people talking outside the building, you can hear the muffled music reaching the road whenever the theater doors open to let new guests in. One last look at your watches, one last check on your gear, one last deep breath to let the sweet petrichor fill your nostrils. Time to go, assassins. One thing that we didn't do is talk about your skills. So as we jump into this flashback, you are at sync level 3, which is like you take the number of key objectives in a scene, you subtract those from 6, that's the sync level you have. It's sort of your level for the scene. So at that level, there's some kind of difference in this between some of the material, but I think it's like at second level, at sync level 3, you get 2 extra dice that you can use on checks, and you unlock 1 skill. Did you end up choosing a skill for these guys? I know, Abu, you do from your pre-gen, but
so this is for the witness, for the ancestor.
Yeah, for the witness. Yeah.
I have not yet, but so I will try to do that quickly. But I just wanted to say that I think the reason that Major Gallagher is the one who pulls Red Flanagan into this Brotherhood because he shows a lot of promise as a sniper. So he's a sniper,
okay,
and a young sort of talent at that. And so I'm going to just try to find a skill that's kind of based around that. So I'll get back to you.
I was going to do nimble, where I'm a mime, but I think I will read into this literally and choose deceptive movements.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Even if it doesn't mean the same thing, I kind of like it.
Okay, what does that give you? What is the
whenever you
description
make
for
an
that?
action check in a situation where you're called upon your deceptive abilities, you can consider up to 2 social results as 1 additional match each.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, that's very good.
So I went very, very similar to that, except I went with assassination, which is whenever you attempt a stealth check in a situation where you're called upon your assassination abilities, you can consider up to 2 wits results as 1 additional match.
Oh, great.
So that's his skill.
Okay, very good. What about Major Gallagher?
He's a natural born fighter. Whenever you make an action check during combat, you have 1 free raise.
Wow.
Oh, great. Awesome. Okay, cool.
That's great.
What about Jacqueline?
Jacqueline, I chose hide in plain sight. Whenever you make a stealth check, because her stealth is 3, she doesn't have great stealth. So whenever you make a stealth check, you can consider up to 1 social result as 1 additional match.
Oh, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I was wondering if you should use these skills to sort of buff the ones that you don't have great scores in. It's an interesting idea.
I also I was trying to be true to character, where like she's this woman, hide in plain sight, maybe no one would suspect her, no one would assume anything. So I kind of liked that as well.
That's good. Okay, great. So we're set. So that it's actually 1942, not 1943. Sorry. So this is a party being thrown by the German occupation at the famous Folies Bergère in Paris, France. It is being organized by Obersturmführer Wilhelm Schmidt, who is a low-ranking member of the Templar Order. You know that. And this evidence that you need, you believe, is in the manager's office in this building. So that's your mission. So you're sitting outside. You're like across the street, maybe, from this place, watching this happen. What are you gonna do? What is your plan?
So I'm gonna. No, please.
I also just want to throw out there that I have that that Red speaks English, French, and German.
As does Mademoiselle Jacqueline.
Okay, great. So we have a couple German speakers. This is a German party, or
this is a German party.
It's German. The Germans are running it, but there's a lot of French performers. A lot of Quisling French are invited. So it's like 60-40 German to French.
Is there like a phone a friend option in this game? Because when I made this character, I sort of had that backstory thing of she was in love with a German soldier or affiliated somehow, and I even made her hindrance weak to love.
Okay.
I was wondering if maybe she would try to use him to try to get into the party, like get an invitation or some advantage to get in.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can use that. So we can say that he was able to procure one invitation for you. But that was it. That was all.
I have what I need, so I will see you inside. Good luck. And then she turns around. That was a joke.
Well,
Very funny.
if you don't ask, you don't get in. And I just walk up to the door.
Oh,
Okay.
Hello, excuse me. Hello.
All right. So the doors are there's this crush of people like at the doors, like all these people like trying to get in, and there's this doorman. He's turning people away. He's like, no, please, no. There's no party tonight unless you have an invitation. I cannot help you. Please, no. And he's just yelling at people, and everyone is just like, I should be on the list. So
Excuse me.
yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. Hi. Yes. Sorry. We're actually invited. You can tell by the good looks of that lady over there and these two sparkling, lovely gentlemen. You know, he's a famous mime. The thing is, you should. The problem is that we don't actually have our invitations, apart from obviously the madame over here, who obviously is much more cleverer than us. So I was wondering, just do us a cheeky little favor and just let us in.
Oh, you don't have an invitation? Oh, this is the first time I've heard that you tonight.
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. We do have an invitation. We just, the dog ate it. No, we just seem to have left it back at home. The point is that we do have proof that we would have an invitation because she has an invitation, meaning that we were all part of the party.
of course.
Yeah, right.
I have mine, but unfortunately, they forgot theirs, but I said no problem, and we have a performer with us, so we thought we would all come in together.
Okay, so this is a very difficult thing to accomplish, to get all of you in there with this lame story.
One crinkly invitation.
I'd like to mime giving him some money.
Oh,
It's like, looks at
sweeten
it,
the pot.
this is an insult to... So you can do you want to do a social check?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 2 raises. So you're going to need 2 more than your normal total
Than your
to
score.
get this to work. Yeah. What's your social score?
As my descendant or as major?
As Major Gallagher.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I forgot about that. 2.
Okay, so you're going to need 4 matches.
Okay, well, technically... Oh no, this isn't combat. Fuck, never mind.
Get 1 extra die.
It's a great idea. I'm just saying, it's hard.
Okay, how do you get a raise, by the way?
So raise, like as the reader, the GM in this game is called the reader. I can, if something seems like particularly difficult, you're asking for some kind of bonus objective to be achieved with your approach check. I can call for a raise so that I can say that it's just going to be 1 harder. I'm going to say it's like 2 harder in this circumstance. If when you're rolling your check and you get 2 more matches than you needed, you get a free raise. So this is like a bonus that's like a critical success that you can like negotiate like what that means once you get it. But in this case, it just means that you're going to need to make 4 matches on your roll for 4 social results on your 4 D6s.
matches.
Yeah. Although you do have your 2 free dice that you can use, but then they're done for the sequence.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Okay. So do I roll?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Okay,
And you can roll through the app here.
So how do I do that?
All right, so if you go onto your character file and click on stealth or wits,
social?
whatever, and then that should open up a new screen.
Okay,
And
it should be on my
says roll
major,
there.
shouldn't it? Right.
Yeah.
So let me roll it on my major. Oh no, can't. Okay, I'll just set that up on my guy. So he's got 2. So there. Okay.
Dice roller is awesome.
Yeah.
And then
It is really cool.
2 extra die, right?
Those you can decide to use those after the fact.
After the fact.
So,
okay, cool. So let's
yeah.
roll.
Yep.
Okay, I got 2 matches.
Okay. All right.
Getting
So,
close.
So
Just to show people for the benefit, so this is what Abu's rolling digitally. There are these dice with symbols on them, and they have the symbol of the skill you're using. So if you're using... Are you using social for this?
I'm using social.
So that's the social skill right there. You'd have to roll 4 of these out of your 6 dice. And there's
wow.
only one of them
I
on the
see.
die. So that's like saying roll 6 dice and get 4 4s on the first roll.
So what does the creed mean? What does the Assassin's Creed symbol mean?
So if you can activate, like invoke either your traits or your signature gear, you can treat a creed roll as an additional match.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder
so
if I could
whatever
do that
your
then.
gear is or your trait, if they apply in that situation, you can activate, say like, I'm going to use my agility. I'm an agile person. I'm going to use that to do this like action check to jump across this chasm or whatever. That would treat like any rolls of a 6 as an additional match.
I'm going to use my green beret
Okay.
as one of my as a trait, and I think it's the fact that I am a soldier, part of the army, and I think that's also going to be used as a way of being like, hey, I'm not one of these regular folk here, right? You don't want to. I will kill you with my motherfucking teacup, bro. Like seriously, just let me in, man. that's
Okay.
All right.
What language are you speaking, by the way?
I'm speaking in German.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Nice.
So-
Your German is excellent because I had
Thank you.
no
Really good
idea.
German.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. So that's one. And then because so my role was essentially, if I can open up my role again, I think it was two creed symbols, 2 social, and 1 abstergo. So what does the abstergo do?
The abstergo, if you fail and you get an abstergo result on that roll, then that can inflict a setback. If you fail and you get 3 or more abstergo results, that's a major setback.
I see. Okay. So I've rolled that. I'm gonna then, if I need to do another raise, I don't know, is there an assist here? Is there like an assist that can someone assist me here? Or?
I think it's a little late for that, but you got 4, right?
Yeah. Well,
What
I
is
got
your
2.
social?
I got 2. Sorry, I'm on 2 socials, and I got 2 matches, and then I got 2 creeds.
Oh well, okay. Actually, only one of those counts as a match because you get like one creed gets used as an additional match for each trait or item that you use. So you use your green beret. That allows you to use 1 creed result as an additional match.
Okay, so that's a raise. So then I've got 3 out of 4. So can I use an extra die then to get me my extra die?
Yeah, you can use 1 or 2 extra dice here.
Screw it, guys. I'm rolling 2.
We got to get in the door.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, this is huge
Okay.
if this works.
Yeah.
I got a match.
Get out of here. That's so amazing.
Okay.
This is. I'm just gonna warn you now in advance, Skid Man. My rolling is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what devil my mother slept with, but this is really helping me in D&D.
You're our face.
All right.
You're our face. You're doing your job. You're getting us in. This is great.
All right, this is the guy. So you're actually like the doorman. Like he actually is sort of cowed by your presence, and he's just like, yes, of course, you may enter. Please, trust you can find a seat. You remember your seat assignments, please. And he just sort of like waves you past like the guards and everything.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
Walking, I'm like,
okay.
I have no idea how that worked, but
Merci beaucoup.
here we are.
Quickly,
Very
just
good,
get
Naish.
inside.
Very good indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, that was very good. Okay.
I pull myself into the door with a fake rope.
Oh my god.
Okay, so this is like there's a lot of suggested ways for how you guys can accomplish this. This was definitely the quickest, so you guys made it. Okay, so now you know that you have to make your way to the manager's office to recover these documents.
Okay.
How do you go about this?
We don't
right
want
now
to
you're in the
draw,
lobby.
We don't want to draw attention, especially because we do not have invitations. It worked with the man at the
Right.
door. Good job. But we need to be more careful now we are inside. Also assigned seats. What is this? A play?
I wonder if there's a room like an employee locker room type situation where there might be like server uniforms.
Oh.
We could slide in there, put on the server uniforms, and then get better access. We wouldn't look so out of place if we weren't where we're supposed to be.
You definitely see servers and employees sort of milling around, serving drinks, the ushers and everything. You see them walking around. So, yeah.
If this was an 80s sitcom, we could just knock them unconscious and steal their uniforms. But
I mean, you can do that.
Well,
I don't know. Is this supposed to be like a by any means necessary? Get this.
Well, I will say that one of the conditions of this particular mission is if you, if an equal number of innocents to your party number, so 4 innocents die, you're desynced 1 level.
All right.
Oh, and actually, because you achieved that first key objective, you sync 1 more level, so you're at 4 now.
Do we get another
nice.
skill?
You get another skill.
Oh, cool.
Let's choose one that's perfect for this problem.
Okay.
I
guess that's the idea.
You're supposed to like pick 3 at the beginning, and then you unlock them as you go.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. So what I'm thinking is Claude is going to like look to the shadows and kind of eye up a waiter who he knows has the most checkered past. It's like that waiter with a small scar under his eye. Clearly, he abuses animals. He is going to wait and then look for him to like basically try and find a moment for one of these servers to be alone, follow him, and then try and like put him to sleep. And then drag him into the corners. I'm explaining the whole plan. If it goes well, drag him into the corners and take off his clothes and put on his clothes.
Okay. So yeah, you're watching. There's one guy. You actually your character like recognizes this guy as a Vichy informant, and he's walking around and he's doing sort of a half-assed job, like serving these drinks, and you see him, he comes up to another one of the servers. He's just like, would you cover for me? I have to go drain the pickle, or whatever French people say. So he goes, and he leaves. Like he goes off like into a back
Oh,
door.
this is perfect. All right, so Claude is like, there is a technique.
You can talk?
Yes, of course. I do not do it during my performance. That would be very unmime-like. It would break the mime code. However, there is a technique in mimery called the Sleeper's Gambit. I will go and perform it right now. And he ducks into the bathroom. And if he goes in there and just sees that guy's by himself, or if there's someone in there who lets them leave and then just locks the door, and he's going to try and put him
Okay.
to sleep.
Give me. So he's actually going back into the employee area. So you're gonna give me a stealth check to see if you can do this without being noticed.
Okay, now I have my. I said he had all 2s, so here we go.
And remember, you can activate one of a trait or signature gear to give yourself the potential extra bonus.
Well, bad news. I rolled 4 of the A
That's
dice.
Strigo.
I have 4 of
my
Strigo,
God.
which I believe is a major setback.
Oh
That's
my
a major
God.
setback.
And 0 successes. So the Sleeper's Gambit seems to have gone awry.
Did not pay off.
Yeah, I mean, that's 4. I mean, I have 4 Abstergo. 0 successes.
I cannot believe that you did that.
I'm not even going to roll my bonus dice because I'd have to roll them both stealth. So,
Wow.
So what happens?
Wow.
so
Okay.
you want to work this out together? Or you want to just hammer
Well,
me?
I mean, you. So what are your traits and what are your?
He's twos all across the board. In terms of his traits, I didn't really establish this, but I imagine he's deft and light.
Okay. All right. So you can use both of those. Like, I think this is something that you would be like particularly good at. Just this kind of like silent movements. Your mind.
Right.
So this would be something you would be good at. So if you wanted to activate both of those and then roll your 2 extra dice, you could go, because that would be a success. If you got 2 matches, that would be a success, and you would not have the sight back at all.
So if I use those traits and then roll, I would get 1 success, and then I would just have to get 1 stealth on these 2 bonus die.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, you got a creed already?
No, I didn't get a creed.
Okay, then wait. So you have 1 success, though? You have 1 stealth success?
No, I have 0 success.
You have 0 successes. Okay, so yeah. You would have to roll both of your dice and hope for either a stealth or a creed on both of those dice.
I think you got to take the hit, dude.
Yeah, I
You
think
kind of have to, right?
Yeah, all right. I'll do it.
Okay.
All right, I got a creed, but I didn't
Okay.
get a stealth. I got a
Okay.
creed and a social.
Okay.
But that lessens his failure, right?
No.
Okay.
But he can use that extra dice again later, right? No.
You can if... Actually, you can if you invoke your quote, or no, your hindrance. No, your quote. If you invoke your quote, you can turn one of those dice back and get it back. But otherwise,
Okay.
no, they're gone for good.
Yeah, my deceptive movements, I didn't even hit that. Like if I had got 1 more social, I could trade 2 socials as an additional match,
really?
but I only got 1 social. So yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone wrong. If I was pretending to choke someone out, I'm the best at it. But in the field, it just didn't work out.
Wait, Troy, I imagine you were miming choking him, but you never choked him. You just went,
Okay. So a German major, who's like whatever that is, the German Sturmfuhrer or something. A German major like spots you trying to go into this back room and says, you are not welcome. That is employees only. Where are you going? And he comes up and he grabs you like right by the by your shirt collar. Your striped
I'm
shirt
sorry,
collar.
I do not know the German word for bathroom. I thought this was the way to the bathroom.
All right. And he's grabbing you and he's pulling you back. And he goes over, the doorman is right there by the lobby. And it's just like, who came in with him? And the doorman like points out the rest of you.
Wow. That's a major setback.
Yeah, that's a major setback.
That's what I call a major setback. Yeah.
Jacqueline shrugs. No?
So now like all these soldiers in the lobby, like they're taking notice here and they're all starting to move towards you. Now what do you do?
On my mark.
Red is gonna take off into the party, like into the mix of people.
Okay.
He's gonna bolt.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. And try to get like lost in, try to lose them in the hubbub.
Okay.
So what is this? Is it like a grand ballroom? Is it a theater?
No, it's a theater. There's actually, if you can Google like pictures of it. It's this like it's like the Moulin Rouge or something. It's a beautiful like old theater. It's been around since the late 19th century. It's gold and red. It's just this big like multi-tiered sort of old theater.
That's cool.
So this is where this like show is like going on inside.
So is the show actually happening right now?
Yeah, there's acts going on like on stage.
Amazing. So he's going to
brilliant.
bolt into the theater where
Okay.
like the show is going on.
Okay. What do the rest of you do?
I'm following suit. Absolutely, we're going to bolt right into the theater. Well, first of all, I'm going to know. First of all, is the mime still Claude is still caught, right?
Yeah, I'm on a wriggle free, but yeah, I'm being pulled.
So I'm gonna tackle the guy who's got Claude and look over and say, run into the theater, as I kind of charge into the German major.
Okay, give us an action check.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Wow.
Okay. Oh Jesus! I've got one in action, so that's my vibe.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
Do you have any signature items or traits that could help you here?
absolutely, my signature item is my signature trait is vigor.
There you go.
Right. So
Yeah.
here we go. Here comes the roll. Oh wow! I got 4 matches.
Oh, nice. That
my
is a
gosh.
free raise. Wow. You get a free raise.
And I also get.
I've heard you so much on Haunted City do this, but I've never seen the spectacle in person.
This is it.
It's very disturbing, honestly.
It's kind of. I'm telling you, man.
Casual.
It is,
He's so used to it.
There is something in the gene. Anyway, so whenever you make an action check during combat, I can also get a free raise. So that's
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wait, so do you get
so this
2?
is like,
yeah, technically.
yeah, I mean, so what you get like 2 sort of bonus things that happen here. Like, what do you think?
Wow.
Amazing. So as I kind of tackle into the guard and get clawed free, right? I think as I push him to the ground, maybe his pistol goes off, which creates this sort of like crazy distraction that gives us a chance to also book it into the theater.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so you knock him off of the mime, and his gun goes off. Like everyone screams, and there's just total chaos right now. You feel like you could get lost in this crowd at this point.
Great.
Yeah. And Jacqueline fakes it too. She uses the invitation she has to fan herself and go, "Oh, sacre bleu!" Oh, and just like kind of runs back into the crowd.
Okay.
What is happening? I'm so scared for my life.
Okay, so you all run into the theater.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you run in, and right now it's one of the big numbers of the night. Edith Piaf is on stage, singing "La Vie en Rose."
Oh wow!
If you listen closely, you'll be able to hear it. But this beautiful song is completely destroyed by all the ruckus that you guys have raised. So you pour into the theater. Now what do you do?
Okay, so we've got to find the office of where this documentation is, right?
Yes, correct.
So would we have had maybe like a layout of the theater beforehand, or some form would we have come in prepared essentially?
Any information?
If one of you could make the case that you would have an idea of where it is based on something in your character's background, then yeah, you can.
Troy, have you performed here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is it possible that I don't know if I'm like a street performer, but I might be able to like run backstage and try and choke out one of the cast members and take their seat. Like that's his only move is to impersonate people.
Stop!
He just looks for like the tenor.
Okay.
Wait,
No, I mean,
Well, hold on a second, Skid. I mean, isn't the action broken? Like, isn't the gunshot went off? Are people still just sitting there quietly watching this show?
People are just sort of like they're this sort of you've made a disruption. Like people are just like sort of looking around, like they heard this, and like people are starting to look towards the lobby doors. They see the 4 of you kind of run in, unless you want to like come in like you did nothing wrong. Then you could make a check to see like to sort of allay any suspicion on yourselves and the people in the audience.
I'd like to go the other way. I'd like to make chaos.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, and Red's thinking the same thing. I think that he's just going to run into the theater and just shout out in German, like, they're shooting people in the lobby. Like, they're killing people in the lobby! And just, like, scream it in German as he starts running down the aisle. Clear the theater! Save yourselves!
just yell fire. Fire!
Question, right? We get an extra skill, right? Because we
yes. Yes.
So I've chosen Eagle Vision, right? Which is essentially a 6th sense.
Okay.
And you can easily spot allies or enemies or objectives, sources of information, and targets within a short range.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I will say if you do a successful wits check, you will get an idea of a path to go. You'll get little like
So as
sort of
this-
a mission marker to head you towards the office.
As this chaos is happening, let's do 2 matches.
Okay. So yeah, you see like a sign like off one of the wings of the stage that like points to the office, and there's a spiral staircase backstage that would lead up to that level.
Cool.
Perfect.
I kind of look at you guys as well as this chaos is ensuing and kind of direct you guys in that direction and start making my way over.
And people start like screaming and like pushing each other over to get out of the theater. Like you've caused like a major situation here. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we'll follow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll make our way to that sign to where the backstage area points toward the manager's office.
Okay. Each of you is going to have to make a check to be able to get through this throng to the stairs to the office.
Oof.
And you can tell me what it is, what approach you want to take.
I'll do stealth.
Yeah, I'll do stealth as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do stealth, and I'm gonna enact one of his traits, which is fleet. He's just very quick, and so
Okay.
he can find openings and kind of like shoot through quickly, even if it means like hopping over a couple chairs if people are crowding the aisle. He's very athletic on his feet.
Cool.
Where I enacted my traits, I can't do it now again, right?
No, you can do it whenever it's applicable.
Okay. And what does that give you? An auto match?
No, it gives you, whenever you roll a creed result on the die, that is treated as an additional match.
Gotcha. All right, so I'll use deft.
Okay.
I'm gonna use social and use my trait clever. And Jacqueline, while everyone's like, they're shooting people in the lobby, Jacqueline is going to pretend that she has a child in the theater, and she's just gonna move people out of the way by going, my baby, and just push through
Are you
people.
bringing your baby to a show like this?
Yeah.
They've got little earmuffs on. It's fine. The volume doesn't matter. I brought my baby here. Why?
Where's my baby?
I am
I
a
left
bad
my
mother.
baby in the theater. I
I
have to go
lost
back
my
and get them.
baby.
Genius.
In the ensuing gunfire at the theater, I lost my baby.
All right, each of you give me your results, please.
Okay, so wait, if I use my trait, then I get...
You get to treat any results with a creed symbol
Creed.
on it as an additional match.
as an additional match.
You get to treat
I-
one creed as a match,
Yeah.
right?
I
if you're using one trait.
stink at this.
All right,
I did it.
I'm rolling physicals. I succeeded. I got 2. I needed 1. I got 2 matches.
Okay.
got
I
2
failed and
matches.
have a minor setback.
Okay.
God.
Oh, you used stealth?
I used stealth and I used deft. I got 1 creed, but I didn't get any stealth. So I got 1,
Okay.
and I needed to get 2, and I also got 2 Abstergo dice.
Okay, this is really terrible because since you failed on stealth before, that result is snagged. So because you failed on it again, oh boy.
Did I use
how does
stealth
this
last
work?
time, or did I? Yeah, I did. I thought I used.
You
something
did
else.
use stealth last time. If you can change, because
I would
I
use-
didn't like point
yeah.
this out. You can use a different skill.
I would have used action.
Well, re-roll then. Just re-roll.
Reroll
Yeah,
it.
re-roll. Yeah.
So you're
All right,
going to
so
use action now?
Yeah, stealth is snagged, and it's still a fail. This would have been a success on stealth. I got 1 creed. But no, I got 3 successes. No, I succeeded.
Okay. Awesome. So what?
Yeah, I
what is your
forgot I
approach?
would have
What do you-
snagged on that.
How are you doing this?
I'm just kind of like moving through the crowds at Mardi Gras. You're just like looking
like
for
pushing
openings,
people out of the
like
way.
a running back. Yeah, like finding those openings to try and because we're swimming upstream. If everyone
Yeah.
else is going this way, he's got to use his knowledge of people's movements to find his way to the back.
Beautiful. Okay. What else? Who didn't? Who's left?
I got 2 matches. on
2
my-
matches?
on my
I got
stat.
2 matches. I needed
got-
1.
I got a match, and I'm using the creed because I used my trait. I got a creed symbol as well. And
Great.
when I make a social check, I consider up to 1 stealth as an additional match. So I even got an additional match. So I got 3.
So you get a free raise.
Yeah.
You got 2 over what you needed. So what do you want to? What is your benefit that you want?
I think the benefit is maybe an usher. helps me towards the back area.
I found your baby.
Now I have an usher.
And now you have a baby. Like he gave you someone's baby.
Madame, here is your baby.
Here is your child. You are wondering.
I think that's more of a setback. I think a baby's more of a setback.
Guys, now I have a baby. This is my life now.
Raise him
This is
in
my
the
life
Brotherhood.
This is my life
Okay,
now.
so yeah, this usher is just like, oh please, I will help you, and he's like ushering people out of your way, and you get there even quicker than you would otherwise.
I was gonna say
And-
maybe I ask him about the manager's office, but maybe there's no time in this chaos right now.
Yeah, no, that would be with a free raise. Yeah, you could do that.
I want to speak to the manager.
Yeah, it was,
My
the,
baby
manager's
is
the father.
lost.
The show is ruined.
yes, the manager is
the
upstairs.
Father.
Yeah, so,
My baby's father is the manager.
Where is his office?
I must speak with the father.
so yeah, he tells you like how to get up there. So the four of you get up on stage and you run off stage. You see Josephine Baker is standing back there, and she's just like, "What's going on? What's happening?"
Well, Josephine, as you can see, we have made an entrance.
Oh, I see. Well, I certainly don't like Nazis, so if you're doing something against them, I'm all for it. And she winks. In the very typical Josephine Baker way.
Nice.
I don't think many people don't like Nazis, so
No one said anything about Nazis. It was strange for you to bring it up out of the blue. In normal
like-
conversation.
It's like, you guys are all right. And does she? Maybe she knows one of you. Would she know one of you?
I think she would know me. I think
Perhaps you've seen my work.
I feel like because she's part of the Brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, she would know. She would probably know. I mean, we're all part of the Brotherhood, so technically she would know us all, right? So,
Yeah, I think she. Or well, she might not know all of you, but like,
right.
she's like associated with the Brotherhood. But yeah,
We
so
give the
she-
Brotherhood hand signal.
Yeah.
Isn't that a P? It's like-
It's an A for Assassin's Creed.
But she's just like, are you on a mission right now?
well, we need to.
Yeah.
Please.
What do you
Do
need?
you want
What-
in?
How can I help?
We need access to the manager's office. Do you know where it is?
Yeah, let me show you. Come on. And she leads you up these stairs.
I don't trust her.
She's fine.
What?
We also need a baby.
Okay,
Okay,
so
fine.
only
I'll
way
go,
we're
but I'm
getting
not
out.
happy about it.
and she warns you that there are a couple of guards outside.
Shit.
As you're coming up. So you come up around the corner and you can see them. This is sort of isolated from the rest of the theater. Like it doesn't seem like they've heard the hubbub of everything that's gone on so far, but there are two guards standing outside this office door.
Fuck.
Right. Here's the plan. Me and the young buck over here will deal with the guards. You two go and search, and no, not you. You're a fantastic mime, but
But you're very old. You're very
Yes.
old.
yes.
You have not been great so far. You got captured like 3 times. What are you doing? Pulling yourself away? Come back.
Yeah, for the audio audience, Troy picked a character that does a lot of miming jokes.
I'm going to build a mime.
This is perfect.
I have to
right?
check it out on YouTube to see all the action.
So yeah, we will deal with the guards. You two, you can find the documentation. Sounds good.
Oui?
We.
So what's it going to be, General? Is it quiet or loud?
I'll show you. Kind of walk up to the guards. Sorry, we seem to have lost our way to the bathroom, and as I kind of get closer, I'm gonna headbutt one of them.
All right, give me an action. Give me an action roll.
Definitely an action there. That's an action. Okay, I got 2 creeds.
Okay.
So that I can use my trait, right, to help
Yeah,
me.
yeah. You
Okay.
really should announce it beforehand, but
All right.
It was really cool. So yeah.
Again, going to be vigor as to get one of those matches, and then I get a free raise because of the fact that it's an action in combat.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's 2, right?
Oh great.
Yeah.
Well, no, free raise means that it's as if you rolled 2 more than you need.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you get a bonus. You get a bonus to your objective. So what is your bonus?
I think I give an opening for for the
Red.
Are you a lieutenant or are you not? What ranking are you? Yeah,
lieutenant.
Give an opening. Yeah, I kind of as I kind of go. I've lost myself to the bathroom, lieutenant. That's the cue to just rail in.
So Major Gallagher has not only knocked out one of the guards, but he's completely distracted the other one. What do you do, Lieutenant Gallagher?
So are these for the parlance of Brotherhood, and then obviously for the meta of the game, are these innocents? Like are armed guards innocents?
No. Yeah, German guards occupying France are not considered
exactly.
innocents.
So he is going to pull out his hidden combat knife and just cover the guy's mouth and jack him up like under the throat. Just
Okay.
and try to assassinate this guy.
Okay.
And
What
stifle
role do
any
you?
screams.
Okay.
So he has a combat knife on him, and he's going to use. This actually is not within his traits, but he will use his assassination skill. Whenever you make a stealth check in a situation where you're called upon, your assassination abilities consider up to 2 wits results as 1 match each. So
Okay. So this is a stealth approach.
it's a stealth approach. He's trying to keep this guy completely quiet and just get him with a knife.
Okay. And do you have any like other traits beside your skill that you're using?
No, because my traits that I have are fleet and marksman, and so like this is just not fitting in those right now.
Well, actually, fleet, because you do have to kind of rush up.
He's got to be quick
to accomplish
sure.
this.
Yeah.
So I'll let you use that. And then what's your signature items?
His sniper rifle and his wedding ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's really
you can treat 1 creed result as a success.
Okay. Here we go. I got. Okay. So I got 1 stealth. I got no wits, so my assassination skill didn't do anything. But I got 1 stealth and 1 creed.
Okay.
So for that fleet, so that's 2 successes, and I got 2 of those. What's it? I keep on calling it Abstergo. Yeah.
Abstergo. Okay. That doesn't matter. You're fine.
I got
you
a success, so we're good. So he.
All right. So both the guards are dead.
Yes.
That was a bit messy,
Pulls out the
but,
knife and he wipes it off on the German guard's uniform.
Yeah, very
and
messy.
Slips it back into a
He
holster.
probably had children, but it's okay. Totally fine. Shall we?
I'm going to open the door. You did not even need me. That was so easy. I try to open the door.
Okay. You open the door, and there is a desk that is covered in papers.
Oh, Jesus.
Ay.
Okay.
I'm going to use, so the other skill that I took when you said we got another skill was observant. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do a wits check, and whenever you're called upon your wits for investigative abilities, you can consider up to 2 stealth as matches. So I want to do a wits roll to look through these papers and try to identify quickly, which one we need.
Okay.
So I'm going to take a wits approach. Here we go.
Okay.
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
So I got a wits and a stealth. So that's 2. I didn't use any of my traits, so my creed don't do anything, and I needed a 2, and I got a 2.
Great. So as you're searching the desk, you see that the main drawer, the widest drawer, like right over the chair, is booby trapped. And had you not succeeded at your wits check, it would have gone off.
Oh.
So you're able to avoid that.
Step back. It's trapped.
Can I attempt to disarm it?
You actually don't need to.
Don't need to.
You can just avoid it. So you go through these papers, and you see that there are a bunch of documents. The ones that attract your attention most concern the movement of troops towards northern France and the kidnapping of a man named Leo Dubois, who was a French professor of medieval history. All of these are at the request of Sturmbannführer Heinz Müller. And from what you can understand, Mueller is moving to the north of France, seeking technology attributed to the first civilization. Pieces of meat.
Yes.
And you have to find Mueller before he gets his hands on the artifact. The other thing that you find going through these things is some of the plans of the Templars that the other guy, Mueller is here now. He is the one who has organized this whole thing. You know, he was here at the party. You know now that you also have to assassinate Heinz Mueller.
Oh, Jesus.
So what do you do?
He's in this party.
He was in the theater.
He might be
just
gone
made
now.
An absolute ruckus and chaos of.
Yeah,
Yes.
he might be gone now if he thinks there's
Yeah.
like a
We need
cause
to find
for
him quickly.
danger.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go down. I will try to calm and try to locate him. Oui?
All right. We need all eyes on this. I'll go outside. I'll make sure he doesn't leave.
I'll go out the fire escape.
Okay.
Do we know what he looks like? Do we have any sort of lead? Like,
Yeah,
is
is
there
there
any
any-
documentation? Give a physical description?
Yeah, there's actually, you can find a picture of him in these documents.
Oh, okay.
Memorize this face.
Okay.
Is there any indication as to, because this is his office, right?
Yeah. Well,
So-
he's using this office.
He's
yeah.
using this office. Is there any way of learning how he got here? Can I use my eagle vision to figure out maybe a mode of transportation? Was he dropped here? Did he drive here himself or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or maybe an appointment book? Because if we don't
Yeah.
find him, let's
Yeah,
find out when his
yeah,
next
sure.
lunch is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't somebody give me a wits check to try to find
Okay.
something like that?
I'll do that because eagle vision. Additionally, when you make an approach check, you can count one wits result as one. Okay, right. No, that doesn't matter. Let's just do this. Great. Oh, okay. 2 matches.
Great. So yeah, you do find his appointment book, and you can cross-reference it with his address book, and you can see like he has a driver who pulled up. It has the make and model of the car, everything, and that they were going to stay there and take him home afterwards was the plan.
Let's get to the
So-
car.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Yes. Hopefully the driver will need to use the bathroom. Because I have a plan. I never told you of the Sleeper's Gambit.
No more sleepers, Gambit. No more
I
sleepers.
have a plan. You don't have to worry about that. And she takes out a bottle as they're leaving the office. And she's also holding like a napkin or something with it.
Wait, can we?
Your chloroform.
Chloroform.
Well, can we go
The
with?
whole
Why don't we
time?
go with Claude's initial idea? I mean, that sparks an idea. Why don't we all try to leave by the fire escape? So, because we're looking for a car outside anyway, and that way we can slip
very
out of
true.
the theater.
If we get to, all right, so this is a crazy plan, right? But if we get to the street, find the car, 3 of us could hide in the trunk while the other one takes out the driver and puts on his clothes. He's like,
Yes.
hello, Mr. Mueller. And just starts driving. My secret items are a makeup, like mime makeup, and then a syringe full of sedative.
Yes.
So we could go up to the driver, take him out, shove that body in the trunk with the other 3 of us while one of us impersonates the driver, drives into an alley, and we just kill this guy.
I do have
Okay.
chloroform. It is
I
chloroform.
really like this plan.
But we can poke him with a
I mean,
needle.
I'm not a huge fan of the part where my character's in a trunk with a dead
with a
body.
dead guy.
Like, I don't. Well, we can figure that out if we find the car. First, we have to get out. We have to find a fire escape and get down.
Yeah.
We all jump
Okay.
out a window without checking to see if there's a fire escape first. Because time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Well, Josephine Baker is she points you in the direction of the fire escape.
Oh, thank you, Josephine.
Thank you,
Merci
Mademoiselle
beaucoup.
Baker.
Long live the Brotherhood.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Yeah, great success.
Any
And
tips
so-
for making it in this business?
Oh, you just need to stick at it. You have all the skills you need. You just need to keep at it,
That's what they all say.
honey. Yeah.
It's not encouraging. It is.
And never call me. She says, and never call me, no matter what.
Perhaps
I can't help
I
you.
could meet with your agent.
Nope.
Be a
Nope.
recommendation.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
Okay, so you get up on the fire escape, and you can go up onto the roof, or you can go down to the alley. But you are outside the building now.
Let's go down to the alley.
Yeah, down to the alley.
Okay, so and you can see like this. You can see the crowd spilled out from the theater. It's still chaos. Like people are irate. Everyone is just like really angry that they're confused. They're angry that this like incredible evening has been disrupted. There are German officers and French socialites just running around just like yelling at each other. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to use again observant. Use my observant skill to try to identify the car. I imagine a lot of cars look the same, but he's going to try to identify the one, the driver, whatever that was in the documents.
Okay.
Okay, that is a success. Two matches on, and I needed 2.
Okay. So with your eagle eyes, you are able to spot this car in traffic about a block away, outside the alley.
It's too late. He's already in the car.
Theater.
He's already in the car. It's leaving.
It's coming towards the theater to pick him up.
It's not too late.
Okay.
They're just on the way here.
So then he would be standing.
Outside.
Yeah. Perhaps in the chaos we could just. Oh. Ooh.
You have that needle. You could use it.
Carl, is it just a sedative, or could you give him an extra dose? Put them out for good.
Yes, I suppose I could up the dosage, and it would kill him instantly. It is a fine line between just the right amount and enough to immediately kill someone. Hold on. I think this is enough to kill.
I think.
Well, you better be sure.
You think you don't know?
No, I've never administered this much to one person, because I said to myself, it is far too much. So it will certainly incapacitate him, and then we could just stab him in the heart when he hits the ground. Just to make sure. It is the only way.
Wait, what's the plan? First of all, Jacqueline, you're a doctor, right?
I mean, yeah, she works like in the medical world. I was gonna say I don't have.
Is this enough?
I don't have traits. I don't have traits. Like I have clever and hard ass, but like, could I look at it?
Could you just look at a syringe in an alleyway at night and know if whatever's in there is enough to kill somebody?
Well done. Why don't I just pour the chloroform into it too, and we'll mix it both, and
Jesus
that will
Christ.
absolutely kill him.
Whoa, who brought the clever hard ass?
Okay.
Sure, I suppose we could do that.
I'm almost positive if you just stab someone with chloroform, it is not good for them.
You're not supposed to mix. It said specifically on the bottle, do not mix with chloroform. So I am sure this will be enough to kill Mr. Mueller. Or we could go after the driver. But we must make a decision right now.
Okay.
I like your plan. Let's stay with the first plan.
Replace
the driver. Replace the driver.
We have more control over the situation then. Let's do it.
All right, so let's move to the car through all like the chaos. It's in traffic, right? Like trying to come up to the theaters. Everything's kind of slowed down. Can we just get to the car, open the door, literally just pull the driver out, replace the driver?
Yeah, I can say that you can get there without needing to roll or anything. But yeah, so what do you do? So you get up to the car, it's like sitting, waiting
I'm
in
gonna
traffic.
hail it like as if pretend like it's a taxi.
Cab.
Okay.
Like a cab. And like go up and be like, excuse me, mate, excuse me.
No, what are you doing? Get away! Get away!
I just want to, I'm gonna open the door, or go to attempt to open the door if it is unlocked.
The driver door or
Yeah.
the passenger door? Okay.
Yeah. And
All right.
hopefully everyone else is going to help me in this situation as I try and essentially...
But we have to make a quick switch. Like, you got to pull the driver out, and then somebody else the mime has to become the driver, basically.
And does the driver have like a hat that we could probably tilt down?
He's got like a driver hat. Yeah.
Hat and a coat as well.
Cool. I'm going to give it, I'm going to pull him out. Mime's going to be the driver.
We get in the trunk.
You guys get in the trunk. I'm definitely going in the back seat, sitting underneath the little bit, hiding, you see.
That's a good
you
idea.
can just put a gun on Mueller. Quiet.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to say to do this and to do it without anyone seeing you do it, it's going to take a raise. So whatever approach, whichever one of you is going to do this, you're going to need to do one more than you'd normally need.
Okay. I'm going to do it because I've run up
And what
to
are you
it.
going to do? Action?
Action.
Okay.
You know
Action Jackson.
What's hilarious is that this feels not like Assassin's Creed but Grand Theft Auto.
I know.
Get out of there!
Okay, right. So
Yeah, what
and you-
music is on the radio?
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to change the
Billie
station.
Jean.
So how many successes do I need, or how many matches?
So your action rating is 1, right? Mm-hmm. So you're going to need 2.
Okay, cool.
Do you invoke any signature items or skills, traits?
Nah, I got 2 matches, so it's okay.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go.
Perfect.
All right. So you stealthily are able to like disable and remove this driver, and the rest of you smoothly pile into the car.
I grab the hat and the coat.
Okay.
Right, and I'm kind of in the I'm in the like hidden in the little foot compartment, sort of covered with the mime's like spare like sort of I don't know jacket or cloth that looks kind of like it's just been thrown in the back.
Okay.
Pistol
I use
in
my
hand.
makeup to look like the driver.
You quickly apply my driver makeup.
Driver makeup.
Okay. So Claude Lemieux is driving the car.
And then we're in the trunk.
Well, I mean, either you could be in the trunk or you could be. Claude's driving, right? So you guys could technically follow and watch from the sides.
In another car, or
Yeah, we'll do a
Yeah.
separate car. I mean, I imagine we
jack another
came in a
car.
car.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could say you came in a car.
yeah, so we're gonna follow like on foot to start. Make sure that he gets in the car, and then we'll follow in our car once they're free of the traffic.
Okay. So Mueller, like you can see him, like you're right around the corner from the theater, and you can see he is irate. He's just like he's screaming at his underlings, like all around him, and he's like looking around, like looking for you, I guess. You assume looking for the car, and you pull around, and he comes up, and he sees Claude behind the wheel, and he's just like, "You're not my normal driver."
Yes, I do apologize. And we looked at the identification for the guy, so we have his name. Monsieur Pamplemousse was very ill today, and so I had to fill in. I do apologize. He told me not to be late, but this commotion here at the theater has made the streets clogged with peasants. I do apologize. Please let me say. And he opens the door to let him in the back seat.
All right, give me a social check.
Oh,
to
boy.
see if you can convince him.
Mr. Mueller, there is no time. All right.
There's no time for a social check. You must just get in the car.
All right. So when I say deft and light, that's not really going to help here. So let's see.
Deft could help.
Deft, yeah. All right, fine. So let's see here. That is, so that's 2 matches. Oh, and I have a 2, so I hit it, and I got 1 as Abstergo die. So
Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
So he looks sort of dubious for a moment, but then he just like really just wants to get out of there. So he gets in the back seat.
okay, we will get out of here. We will be out of here in just a moment, Monsieur.
Yes,
Mueller.
take me back to my quarters.
And he gets in the back seat.
Ah, shit, we don't know where he lives.
And as he does, and as the car moves, I sort of pop from underneath, and I'm like, "Oh, good day," with a pistol.
Hey, no.
No. Let's not get angry now, please, Claude. Take Mr. Mueller to his quarters. She sort of turned. I'm like, now this isn't going to end very well, as you probably have guessed. The question is, what can you tell me to make this easier for you?
I don't know what you mean. I do not respond to threats.
Ah, it's that kind of game. And I'm going to pistol whip him as we go.
And he's spitting out blood and teeth, and he's just like, who are you? American? British?
Well, as you can tell by my charming accent, that I am British, of course, but we serve a different type of queen, as you could say. Perhaps maybe more a sense of like a brotherhood. So, I'll ask you again. What can you tell me to make this easier for you?
Oh, so that is where your loyalties lie. They have told me about you and your brotherhood. Well, I have nothing to say to you, except that your side will lose.
Oh, okay, very charming. Should pull into this corner here. We're going to make this very, very charming.
Yes.
Right.
Rolls in. Another
Pull
car
out
rolls
into a
in by.
dark alley.
You guys following us as well?
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
imagine, did they drive far, not that far, nearby enough that we can just be on foot, or do you think they drove like a few blocks and we were in another car?
We drove to Rome.
7 hours later.
Across the
We wanted to get as
Pyrenees,
far
like-
away as possible.
All right, so no, we'll just be in another car behind. So,
Okay.
And as you pull into a dark alley, we'll kill our lights and just pull up in front of the alley, like blocking it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Is there any last words?
Heil Templars!
Oh, how unpoetic. I mean, you could have come up with anything else. I mean, you could have at least said, I don't know, long live freedom, and I pull the trigger into his in his eye socket.
No, wait, I want to change my answer. That's a good one. Long live freedom. No, death to freedom.
Right. You seem a bit confused. Are you sure you're a Templar? Because
Well, I'm new. I am actually new. It is part of the mission outline. I'm new. I don't know much about the Templars yet. And they've told me about you. You horrible assassins. But I will oppose you with my
Yes.
last breath.
Yes, your last breath, which is, I kind of look to the crew about now, right? Yes.
Yeah, we all walk.
Unload like a Scorsese film. Closes up
You
on
see
our
the
faces.
flashes in the alley, like of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. You start to hear Layla playing, and you start to desync as your mission has been completed.
It's a quantum leap.
And you all come to Ziggy like standing over you, and he's just like, well done, you all managed to pull that off with nary a hitch. These details are very surprising. I didn't think it happened that way.
Mate, my granddad was sick, yo. Like, that was crazy. You see that?
Same, mate. I had no idea.
Do you know what I mean? It's nuts.
Wicked
It's a
awesome.
knife right in his neck.
Wicked awesome. That was wicked awesome. Kid.
Unbelievable.
I'm very glad that all of you got to get better acquainted with these people in your past. But there was some data that came up that was a little confusing to me. I think it might be the next step. If you don't mind, if you want to take a quick break to use the loo or get a drink of water, I'd love for you to jump back in.
Right now, just right back
Yes, I mean, sooner the better.
I mean, I'm completely open to it. I think that was fantastic. I had no idea that my grandmother was such a hard ass. And
She was.
so clever.
in. And so clever too, eh? Well, yeah, quick drop to the loo and then I'll be back.
Okay.
Jump right
So,
back in.
After a little break, and you've been in there for like probably a few hours, they load you back in, and it's just like, I'm not entirely sure where this is going to end up. It's a little indistinct, but you'll be sure to let me know. And zoom, you all start to resync. And as you open your eyes, you're immediately hit with this smell, this dry air and like this smell of like reeds and spices, and the sound of like a marketplace, and this grunting of like some kind of animal, like a herd animal, and this bright sun and this clear blue sky above you, and there's this like gleam coming off of it, and as your eyes adjust, you look off into the distance and you see 3 massive pyramids.
Oh.
And we'll pick up with this next time.
Oh, baby!
Let's go.
That is awesome. Wow.
Dang.
Great work, Skid.
Oh, Skid.
I did not see
was
coming.
nice.
Good job.
That was amazing. So wait, are we the same ancestor, or is this
No, you are going to be different ancestors.
We make a new one?
Yes, you get. Well, I think yes, you're going to make a new ancestor. I think Abu probably realizes who he's supposed to be playing.
Of course, mate.
I can't believe you've done this.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, so think about people that might be in and around Ptolemaic Egypt.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I love this.
So
I love this game now.
that.
This game is like the best game ever.
Yeah, this is the best game.
Exactly. We brought him
great.
back. Thank you all so much. This was such a blast. I love this game. I love this system. We'll be back again, I think, next week.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week.
Okay. Thank you, Troy, Joe, Sydney, Abu. Thank you to Guillotine Press. What is the
CMON.
CMON, and everyone who's ever lived in Italy. All the developers.
And Ubisoft.
And Ubisoft.
Thank you they took some time to like they gave me a bunch of ideas, and they walked me through a bunch of the system and everything. These guys are great. So thank you, and we will see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks.